And I want to have a very special mention for our friends in Ashraf that have been supporting this difficult situation for the last 2 years with this psychological torture, these cuts in supplies, this mistreatment of sick people. And you can be sure that we do everything in our hand to alleviate their situation, and we permanently communicate with United Nations, with the European Commission, with the High Representative for Foreign Policy and Security of the European Union, in order to help them and to make public our permanent watching of what is happening in Ashraf.
And first of all, let me say Happy New Year. I think it's very important that we remember, first of all, those people who, as Alejo pointed out, are inside Ashraf, and as such are the symbolic face of opposition to the tyranny of the mullahs in Tehran. They are the people this evening that we should remember. They are the people that have suffered for years now, and for the past 2 years, the tyranny and the psychological torture of 210 loudspeakers. Shame on the Iraqi government that they allow that torture to continue. Shame on the Iraqi government that they stop access to medical facilities, that they block and threaten to block food supplies and water supplies and fuel supplies. So let us all this evening send our best wishes and a Happy New Year to everybody in Ashraf. It's very interesting to see the way the situation has dramatically changed in the US. We now have senior officials from the former Clinton, Bush, and even the Obama administrations supporting the PMOI, supporting the NCRI, supporting the people in Ashraf, demanding that the MEK be taken off the US terror list. And of course, inevitably, we have seen a hysterical reaction from those who pretend that they represent what they call the Green Movement. They pretend that they are the official opposition. In fact, we know and we see the fingerprints of the MOIS on all of their utterances in cyberspace and in the media. They are claiming that any reaction to taking the MEK off the US terror list would lead to the mullahs cracking down on the Green Movement. Well, we know that the Green Movement, in fact, is not the realistic opposition inside Iran at all. Mousavi, when he was Prime Minister in the 1980s, he had jurisdiction over the execution of tens of thousands of political prisoners, most of them MEK supporters. To pretend now that he would introduce some new version of the clerical regime is an absolute joke, an absurdity. And those people that are writing and going on cyberspace in the United States claiming to represent the Green Movement, they actually are the agents of the mullahs themselves, and they should not be listened to. But when we see people like Governor Bill Richardson, Judge Mukasey, General Jones coming out openly in support of the MEK and the NCRI, then, ladies and gentlemen, we know that the tide is turning in our direction. We have seen the Arab Spring erupting all over the North Africa and the Middle East. And we have even seen ludicrously Ahmadinejad and Khamenei saying that they support the uprisings in Tunisia, in Egypt, in Libya, and then crushing ruthlessly anyone who takes to the streets in protest inside Iran. We have not missed the irony of that in the West. So while we welcome the Arab Spring, let's also welcome the Persian Spring and hope that this new year will see freedom, democracy, justice, women's rights returned to a free Iran. Thank you very much.
I am very proud that this was under my country's presidency when the PMOI was delisted from EU blacklist. I very much await the decision which I hope will be made in the foreseeable future by US authorities as well. As Trent mentioned, that the mood is now changing even there. And let me say that I have been always very proud to share the same building and the same institutions with people like Alejo and with people like Struan, who, even in time when they were under tremendous pressure of the official regime propaganda, didn't give up, and they fought together with you for what they thought were right. So I am very proud to share this with them and with you as well, and I can only assure you that we stay with you even for the future. But today, I have to admit, it's a celebratory evening, so let me, as well as the others, wish you a Happy New Year, and I am very much looking forward to that. But let's not forget about those who back home, as well as in Iraq, in Camp Ashraf, are fighting for their lives, are suffering from oppression, and are trying to do their best to get rid of that. And let's help them as much as we can. Thank you very much. Good evening. Happy New Year.
And what I've just said is, Happy New Year. We wish you well. And we hope that this time next year, when we come here to celebrate your new year, that we'll have made significant progress and maybe the final breakthrough. I was delighted to join with my colleagues in the European Parliament as part and parcel of a movement to free Camp Ashraf, but not alone that, but to introduce to Iran freedom, democracy, and basic human rights. And that is the reason that we're here this evening. As Alejo has said, and as Struan has said, there is a particular symbolism in terms of Camp Ashraf. 3,400 people locked in an enclave, no access in terms of supplies, medical services, particularly in terms of women, hazardous and dangerous. Incredible torture by way of the nightly bombardment of microphones and various sounds, making life impossible for the people. And I want to pay a special tribute, first of all to my colleagues, because I'm a relatively newcomer to this particular support group. But secondly, I want to say to the people that you have here representing you on the ground, they are the most effective and efficient lobby group that you could ever have. And it was very much put in perspective when they decided to launch a written declaration. And that written declaration got the highest number of signatories by way of endorsement than any other written declaration. But this is not just about written declarations, this is about action on the ground. So you'll have our wholehearted endorsement. I want to say that as far as we're concerned at European Parliament level, we monitor on an ongoing basis what progress is being made. But what we now have to do is make the final push. What I want to say is this in conclusion: we will keep the pressure on. And a particular message to the people who are effectively captives in Camp Ashraf tonight: every single step of the way, every single mile of the road, every single day we are with you through thick and through thin, and we will not cease in our efforts until first of all you are liberated, and secondly until such time as that beautiful Persia, that beautiful Iran, has a truly elected democratic government, elected by the people, for the people, with the people, and giving Iran what it really deserves, and that is a proper place on the international stage. As I said, I hope this time next year, when we come here, that we'll be celebrating not alone a further step on the road to freedom, but freedom and democracy itself. Thank you.
I can't congratulate you today without reminding Ashraf. We shared a unique experience 2 years ago with Alejo visiting this camp. And we spend our days without even noticing it when they are finished. These people symbolize the resistance of Iran. So their fate is going to be our fate. And what was most impressive in Ashraf was how this community was integrated into Iraqi environment, how all people learned Arabic, how they provided jobs and opportunities for surrounding people, and how hundreds of thousands of signatures of Iraqi sheikhs and ordinary people were given in support of this camp. As Alejo mentioned, I come together with many colleagues, Jan Zahratil and others, from totalitarian regime. So no totalitarian regime can last forever. Nothing is impossible with such friends, such dedicated fighters for freedom. So we trust that the hour of freedom is nearer.
Very often, our friends in the PMOI, in the NCRI, they thank us for our help, for our support, and they say they feel gratitude to us, they thank us. But I want to tell them one thing very sincerely, and I said it from the bottom of my heart. It is not you that must thank us, because working with you, being a part of your big family all these years, fighting together for such a noble cause, makes us, the members of this parliament that share your fight, makes us better persons. And that's why we thank you. Happy Nowruz.